youth skill initiatives. Premier Nabanja 6 Army officers support to improve learning in schools. Entebbe Archdeaconry marks 35 years of evangelism. And Minister Ogwang issues a 45-day ultimatum to Tayet contractors. Once again, thank you for joining us. We now give you the news in detail. President Yoweri Museveni has recognized the long-standing partnership between the church and government in eradicating poverty for the transformation of the country. This was in his speech read for him by the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, while officiating St. Mark Namate Entebbe's 35-year of existence. And in other news, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja wants Uganda People's Defence Forces to help address challenges in the education sector. Nabanja was addressing secondary school head teachers and coordinators from the Central Region, attending a 10-day patriotism training at the National Leadership Training Institute, Chankwanzi.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja says the introduction of the Army in school operations will facilitate the enhancement of school inspection, attendance to duty, and help in the fight of illegal fees levied in some schools. According to Nabanja, since the government deployed UPDF in agriculture and the Army Brigade in construction works, positive results are being realized.
Tugenda kubawerezaako ku basajja bano aba uniform ogenda okutuuka nga ayimiridde dda mu kiraasi anti headmaster akyagenze ku ofisi ya DO ali wakaawo nga ali mu kiraasi atonyeza toliiwo kubanga tunaakola ki omanyi muzeeyi yagenda n'aleeta emirembe abasajja abo baasoma gye bali eyo tebalina kye bakola ngenda kubasaba bajje batunuliremu ekyo kyawedde.
Nabanja is also opposed to a practice of transferring teachers as a punishment for any unprofessional behavior, saying it breeds incompetence.
Ate twakoye titwagala kukyusa basomesa abo abadifairinga abaana okukyusa ojje wano ate otuteeka emize emirala no ewaffe ekakumi otwakkirizganyiza headmaster bw'obanga tosobodde kukola mu ssomero limu tetukutwala walala komaawo. We are tired of failures. Because transferring a head teacher from one school to another is breeding incompetence. This is Uganda sub-region. Njagala mujjukire Buganda bwe yali. Mutunuulire ne bwe muli kati. Mutunuulire.
The director Nali, Brigadier General Charles Chisembo, says the workshop is focusing on mindset change, patriotism, financial literacy, among others. The head teachers welcomed the initiative of training them in leadership and asked government to organize such trainings regularly.
We need this. We don't have to take things for granted that we all know. We are posted there and we are thrown there. If you don't go an extra mile, you will think you're genuinely doing a good job in actual sense when you are back there in the very late centuries.
Because it focuses on mindset change. There are a lot of things that we are learning that probably we were not thinking that it is our role to do and to play in the community.
The National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi is a government institute for training national leaders to promote patriotism, nationalism and mindset change for the development of the country.
And in other news, the Archbishop of Uganda, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has called for the empowerment of the boy child, just the way it is with the girl child. Kazimba's message was at the book launch of his side of the story, written by Nyombi Solomon Ignatius, in the memory of the life of the maverick former Attorney General through the eyes of those who knew him, paying tribute to his father's deeds.
It was a moment to remember for the life of Peter Nyombi, a former Attorney General, as relatives, family members, friends and well-wishers kept on thronging the venue of the book launch for the written piece entitled His Side of the Story, whose author is Nyombi Solomon Ignatius, his son. The late Peter Nyombi was a lawyer, politician, former Attorney General and member of cabinet, who succumbed to hypertension in 2018 at the age of 64. Hymns of praising, moments about the late Nyombi were the order of the evening, as the guests were treated to soft music. In attendance for the book launch were family members to the late, who included the widow, his biological children, siblings, other relatives and families. The event was also graced by the Bishop of Namirembe, Right Reverend Wilberforce Chitoluwarira, Reverend Canon Dr. John Senyonyi, his brother, the Deputy Head of Missions of Uganda in Beijing, Henry Mayiga, also his brother, and former Chief Justice Benjamin Odoch, among other luminaries.
I would see him with over 20 envelopes containing the money. He's giving it to women groups, youth groups, football teams. He was such a generous man. There's absolutely no doubt about it in terms of generosity.
He was one of the smartest people, and I mean both in dress and in head.
I was his teacher. He was an exemplary student, one of those diligent, hardworking, and committed.
He made me love Nakasongola, and he used to call it the land of milk and honey.
The author of his side of the story, Solomon Nyombi Ignatius, explained what motivated him to write.
The gist of this book, apart from talking about my father's life, the gist of it is basically to show people that there's two sides to the story. There's always two sides to the story. A lot of the time we hear things about people, things are said about people, and we believe them first time. We don't really engage with what is being said about the people, and then you realize, when you really get to know these people, you begin to realize that, oh, there's actually this other side to the story. And
the chief guest, who also celebrated his 39th anniversary of the Holy Marriage, the Archbishop Church of Uganda, His Grace Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, urged the parents to consider proper grooming of the boy child, as it is with a girl child, for a balanced upbringing.
Good name is more desirable than great riches. The women are positively empowered and they are doing a great work. But now, who will really take these women? And so we need to now go back and balance. Now I empower the men, the younger men as well, boy child. So we started a campaign, Boys to Men.
The speeches at the event were all in honor of the late Landi Peter Nyombi for his great legacy.
Each and every one of us here had a moment with him, and that also goes to show you the kind of person that he was.
Ivan Juko, Stephen Kalisia, UBC News.
At 500.
The Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, has commended the Ahmadiyya community in Uganda for spreading the spirit of voluntarism aimed at improving people's welfare. Muruli Mukasa made the remarks at the second day of the 33rd Annual Ahmadiyya Convention held in Chiboga, Chantamba.
Hundreds of Chantamba village residents in Chiboga district have continued to flock the 33rd Annual Ahmadiyya Convention organized by the Ahmadiyya community in Uganda. The Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, who graced the event, lauded the Ahmadiyya community for the spirit of voluntarism to the community.
Wherever you see them, wherever you meet them, they do not exhibit the militancy, spirit of militancy, the spirit of intolerance. No, they are humble, meek people who are focused and really dedicated to their teaching and their belief. The other spirit is that of voluntarism, because wherever I have been, most of the work that is done by volunteers. You know, they are not paid.
Muruli Mukasa says the Ahmadiyya community in Uganda does not have a lot of resources but tries to sustain people's welfare.
And even the organizers, the events they organize, you know, they cost money, but money is contributed, you know, voluntarily among the believers, and the events are carried out. There is also the spirit of peace. You know, it's one thing to talk about peace and to, you know, shout about it or make slogans. It's another really to practically make sure that there is peace, first of all in the mind of an individual, but also even in the community, and then peace relating with others. Then the fact that, yes, whatever benefits, whatever gifts that God has given people or a community like this, they should be shared. Really, I think, in the true spirit of what God meant by putting us in this world. So these several aspects really have been exhibited here, and they are prominent among the Ahmadiyyas in this country.
Mukasa urged the Ahmadiyya community to continue preaching the message of peace and engage leaders of different forums with an aim of maintaining peace. Different activities and exhibitions were in place, including book exhibition of activities of humanity, Islamic book exhibition, blood donation, among others. Members were given awards for their secular, religious, academic excellence and performance in different activities.
And in other news, the Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, has commended the Minister of State for Agriculture, Fred Bwino Kyakulaga, has reiterated the importance of culture in restoring harmony in the East African community and Africa at large. Bwino was speaking as the guest of honor at the Senior Command College Chimaka in Jinja City during a cultural event.
Representatives from Rwanda, South Sudan, South Africa, India, Tanzania, Kenya and Uganda have participated in a one-day cultural event at Chimaka Senior Command and Staff College, Jinja. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Fred Bwino Kyakulaga, officiated the event and reiterated the importance of culture in the promotion of tourism, peace, unity and security within the East African community and beyond.
Is Anorld with a rich and diverse cultural heritage based on the 65 indigenous communities, each with unique characteristics. This rich cultural diversity in our beliefs, traditions, practices, and values has contributed to the promotion of harmonious coexistence among the different communities and encouraged intra- and intercultural exchange, propagation of social harmony, and development.
Bwino says the cultural event is timely and appreciated the participating civilians.
The event shows the comparative advantage in the regions, promotes the free movement of persons, goods and services, as well as exchange of ideas.
The research on culture was conducted by military students and was held under the theme Appreciating Our Cultural Values for Promotion of Security and Unity in Diversity.
Government is considering a comprehensive review of the decentralization policy that sought to delegate authority by the top management to the middle and lower levels of management. Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, says that this move is part of the upcoming amendment of the Local Government Act. Majesty says that the amendment seeks to, among other things, strengthen the framework for the operationalization of new cities.
The substantive motion on the floor is for Terebo district.
Districts have been created.
Right Honorable Moruno Soro here. On behalf of the people of our district, I vote yes.
Municipalities have been annexed. Cities pronounced.
As I wait for Kasese Industrial and Mineral City, Madam Speaker, allow me to vote yes.
And other local government units established. There may have been disagreements in the process.
I vote no.
But this has been part of the many years of the decentralization policy, rolled out way back in 1997 under the Local Government Act of 1997. That has since undergone 4 amendments. The policy inherently decentralized service delivery institutions and their governance in order to improve access to services for the rural poor. 30 years later, it is about time to have this policy reviewed.
A policy which started in 1992 October. Really, it's time to see whether we are still on track, whether things we need to straighten and so on, and to tighten, including tightening, monitoring and evaluation of our performance as a local government.
Effective operationalization of the recently created cities from across various regions of the country is top among the amendments.
We have only been saying that cities are the equivalents of the district, but they also need their own structures. They need their statutory bodies like City Service Commission, City Land Boards and so on. So we are bringing them in the Local Government Act by amending that act.
Uganda is currently home to 135 districts, 10 cities, 1 capital city, and 31 municipalities. Others are 1,496 sub-counties, 25 city divisions, 89 municipal divisions, and 580 town councils.
Yes, we are in this process. We shall consult. We shall reach out to the local government associations and the local governments and the population so that in case you feel there's something to improve, to straighten in the Local Government Act, I've informed you. We are already in that process.
It is hoped that by the end of March 2023, the country will have a revised decentralization policy that will address inadequate local financial resources and the over-reliance on conditional central government grants, inability to attract and retain sufficient trained and experienced staff, corruption, nepotism, and elite capture.
The framework for the operationalization of cities, good enough, we had already proposed a regulation. So we have brought it on board in the Local Government Act amendment, but even the other aspects, we shall do them. And then to make sure that PDM itself gets more strengthening in terms of the legal framework for local government.
Decentralization was rolled out as a democratic reform which sought to transfer political, administrative, financial and planning authority from center to local governments by promoting popular participation, empower local people to make their own decisions, and enhance accountability. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The number of girls who drop out of school in Busoga and eastern regions is attributed to early childhood marriages and has worsened since the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak compared to the post and before the pandemic. This has been confirmed by residents and local area leaders in a special finding conducted in Namutumba and Kamuli district by Twaweza East Africa's Phenomenal Citizens' Views of what is attributed to the suppression of girl-child education.
Child marriage is often the result of entrenched gender inequality, making girls unduly affected by the practice, thus robbing them of their childhood, lives, health and good education.
nafunwa omulenzi yanimbalimba awo yakobanja kufumbiza kola tuje nkubayize nkutwale yanimbalimba awo bingi bingi.
According to global statistics, Uganda has the 16th highest prevalence of child marriage in the world and the 10th highest absolute number of child brides, totaling to an estimated 4 million. Current statistics indicate that 34% of women are married before the age of 18 and 7.3% before the age of 15, and this exposes them to domestic violence, neglect, and isolation by parents and friends.
Having many pregnancies have their consequences on the social sector, the education, the health centers. How many health facilities are we going to have for the young mothers, for the mothers, for the judges and the babies?
Abamu basindika abatonotono era ne balemererwa ng'omwana era akyali omuto bw'omanyi nti amagumba gaba tegannakula bulungi, abamunafunafu hormones ziba tezinaba kubeera ready kusitula mwana kati abeera abamu ne bayisibwa ddala bubi bwekityo ekiri.
Omwana waafuna olubuto aba akoze ensobi naye ate ensobi ebbiri tezikola kirungi kimu. Abaana balina embuto temuggwamu maanyi. Eno si y'enkomerero y'ensi. Osobola okumala okuzaala omwana oyo n'oddamu n'otambuza obulamu bwo nga bwe bubeera n'obeera omukazi ow'obuvunaanyizibwa ekitundu ne kikuganyulwamu.
In some cases, the children are just forced or manipulated into these marriages, as some decide by themselves to join marriage, and this practice mostly affects girls, and it is estimated that the number of young girls who get married before the age of 18 years exceeds 46% in Uganda. Even when in 2016, UNICEF and UNFPA launched a global program to end child marriage, with the Uganda government starting measures to stop the habit, but the number keeps on increasing. However, parents in Namutumba and Kamuli districts assert that the outbreak of the global COVID-19 pandemic that saw restrictions set by government to curb its spread worsened the education system in the areas, as many teenagers got pregnant, blocking them from continuing with their studies.
We give our children a second chance. Your child might have found himself or herself in those unfortunate scenarios, but let us gather our children back.
In a fact-finding special piece of how true this is by Twaweza East Africa, gathering citizens' opinions about the same, teenage girls and victims shared their ordeal.
Nali nsubidde nti banaddayo ku ssomero naye oba kiyinza obutasoboka kuba sirina busobozi bunaddayo.
COVID-19 left many girls out of school, and the married ones are less likely to return to school and complete their education. Major early marriages have been caused by the high illiteracy levels in Uganda. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Furthermore, a 5-year intervention to check on the problem of malnutrition in Uganda has been launched. With funding from the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the project, codenamed Cascade, is set to be rolled out in 4 sub-regions of Uganda. The program director, Care International Uganda, Michael Opio, says that it aims at boosting production and marketing of nutritious foods among women and youth.
A 2019 UNICEF Uganda report indicates that more than 1/3 of all young children in Uganda are stunted, and that Karamoja sub-region remains one of the biggest contributors to this statistic.
23,000 children under 5 have severe acute malnutrition. 68,000 have moderate acute malnutrition.
Here, conflicts, harsh weather conditions, and food security continue to be among the key drivers of the high levels of acute malnutrition.
There is food insecurity, particularly for nutrition crisis, poor post-harvest handling, land right issues.
These were disclosures made during the launch of a new project on nutrition. It is set to cover 14 districts in 4 sub-regions of Uganda.
We have the Toro sub-region. We have the Karamoja region. We will be focusing more in Moroto district, Park district, Kochido and Kabong. And then we have the Acholi sub-region.
And it is focused on working with community members to make sure that they are both engaged but also benefiting from producing and marketing nutritious foods within the communities and across the region of Karamoja.
The project is also expected to bring on board a number of stakeholders and researchers.
One of our partners is Kiambogo University, and we will work with them specifically to build on the local varieties, nutritious foods that locally exist here, and see how can this be improved because they're already tolerant to the climate of this region.
Because of this multi-sectoral and multi-stakeholder collaborations, we know that we shall be able to reduce the burden of malnutrition, which is a challenge in this nation.
In the recent past, the nutrition component that was being implemented in Karamoja concluded. It was under the Development Initiative for Northern Uganda. The Cascade project is expected to build on the interventions.
The main goal for DINO was to improve the livelihoods of the households, which includes income and food production. But nutrition specifically is not just food availability, but food which is diverse and food which is nutritious.
Malnutrition and stuntedness remain serious challenges that have not spared some parts of Uganda, calling for timely interventions.
So let's now take a short commercial break and be back with more news tonight. Do not move a muscle.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF. Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
The Uganda Small Scale Industries Association, USSIA, is a business member organization for micro, small and medium industrialists that has been in existence since 1979 with over 10,000 members and 16 regional offices countrywide. USSIA's core purpose is to enhance competitiveness through development, promotion, policy and advocacy for micro, small and medium enterprises. Find us at USSIA Building, Umasho Grounds, Lugogo, or call us on 0414 574 527, 0774 130 454, or 0782 173 086.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Happiness comes to us in many places. It's in knowing the mosquito net keeps our children healthy. The wife having the support of her husband. It's in deciding together when to have a baby. And for some, focusing on what's important right now. So what's your happiness? Make the right health decisions to ensure happiness for you and your family.
Over the years, we've dreamed to get onto the world stage. We've had that dream crushed. We've witnessed a total defeat of what could have been our greatest moment. We've felt our spirits go up, only to take a hard fall. We've had our fires burn out and leave only scars. We've seized the wind and had it pulled from our grasp. We've seen pain and we've seen loss of the last fragments of hope. But we are made of resilience, and resilience never stops dreaming. So we will dream even bigger with the Cranes Cup Bowl 2026. Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup.
Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup. For every Now special you buy, we will give 50 shillings to the Uganda Cranes 2026 fund. You will also get the chance to choose how the Cranes Cup Bowl contributions are spent. Now special, official beer of the FIFA World Cup and official beer partner of the Uganda Cranes.
Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now, updates on the health of the ICT and National Guidance Minister's health has come in through a tweet which he has authored himself, and it reads that, "Friends, yesterday I had a blackout while in my constituency. I was moving from one church function to another. I was rushed to Kambuga Hospital and then airlifted to Mulago Hospital. I'm now stable and out of danger. The medical team is carrying out further tests. No need to worry." Well, we do certainly wish you a quick recovery, Honorable. Moving on, Namutumba residents are appealing for the extension of safe water to the eastern region of Uganda for improved health. This was during an interface with Twaweza East Africa, Sauti za Wananchi, seeking citizens' opinions on good living.
Safe and clean water is a basic human right and a basic necessity, without which many lives are at a risk of disease outbreak and even death. Contagious diseases like diarrhea are responsible for loss of life of 33 children on a daily basis in developing countries, including Uganda. Findings indicate that about 7 million Ugandans have no access to safe water and 28 million don't have improved sanitation facilities like toilets. According to a recent health survey by UNICEF, 3 out of 10 Ugandan households don't have pit latrines, 8% have no water readily available for washing hands, and 10% of these practice open defecation. Namutumba in eastern Uganda is deep in these statistics, with the residents sharing their limited water sources with their livestock.
Abaana bagwamu ente dagwamu ayolo okubanga tuziraki maadi era tumala gakozesa tulina naikonta itidi tumale kitundu kyaife kino kasita tuzira twekubirira endulu buli saawa ye titufuna naikonta ntono eri mundala yonka.
What we are having in our community, we have faced and we are still facing so many challenges whereby if the government don't come up to help, we shall lose more people. For example, the challenge with this open water here, someone can be bad-hearted and come, someone can put poison there, and many people can die. Parents always send kids here. You find a very baby, someone baby, but is coming to fresh water here, whereby that person or that kid can fall into water, ending up dying.
Bente bona baida basene eno kuba emodi zokuba mungi obuchafu twenda tukatugemera kunti tuna obuzibu amuntu asobola kwida kunsulonga eno yapa mawo okuba nti abo nanga tikimuyamba.
The chairperson Bugumba village in Namutumba district Juma Isabirye says residents from neighboring villages walk long distances to fetch water from a water source available.
Yebugumba apa yafwa akuba nti baidi nti government eri tuna ensule eri gano tefuire yo kutuyamba kutwena ne tuyamba ku netuwa bowa nga tuna obuzibu nti otuuka kuno ng'okwenda okusena amaadi nga ebe mwebe ne kyalo nga abantu bavuire endu yenga enampirike naikonto yafwa kigulu naikonto yafwa Bugumba apa naikonto lusefwa.
Isabiri appeals to government to provide them with more water sources.
Bona baidagano government twabe tusaba yani tugemeire ku yatugako ku naikonto edegere ibiri obe kuba kyalo kino kinene n'ekizere